Hi, everybody, and welcome to Optical Illusions. I would love to kind of take you on a little tour of what we've been working on. In class with some of my older groups, we started to talk about optical illusions as a bit of a movement that happened starting in the 1920s, shifting all the way to the 1960s. But also, what are the mechanics of what makes a really solid optical illusion? So, for example, of course, I had to make it seem like I was mesmerizing them on the very first day. But even since our very morning message, you can kind of see it right there, we started to look at, how optical illusions are a way to show patterns, explore line weight, spacing, and that show contrast. And this is where I rope in all those sneakerheads, right? I start to talk about how light against dark, or even in really graphic t-shirts, things like that, show the way. Now, we started to look through a short video in class, a few of the heavy hitters, including Victor Vasarely, who is of French and Hungarian descent. Victor Vasarely was, again, one of those heavy hitters within the movement in the 50s and 60s. What was really great, I had two originals that were in the classroom as part of the collection of somebody that works in our classroom, Miss Gabby. And so she was able to share original Victor Vasarely. So that was really exciting for the kids to see. We looked at the work of Bridget Riley, who hailed from England. She was known most likely for her paintings of optical illusions. And again, her work just absolutely mesmerizing. This is where kids start to get a little bit seasick in class. Now, after we finished that, looking at the work of Bridget Riley and then all Victor Vasarely, we also brought in, I'll bring in Escher, MC Escher as well. I had students explore those three ideas: line thickness or weight, line spacing, and then contrast. We usually start with thumbnails. We're never one and done. We like to explore lots of different ideas. And I'm like, I tell them I really like, fail fast, fail often, so that we can get to the right ideas. It's not going to work if things are overlapping in a chaotic way. It needs to be a distinct pattern of lines. So once students figured out what they wanted to do, we got the go ahead and then we started to transfer it. And again, how novel. Rulers, showing kids how to actually use a ruler. So showing them that you actually have to hold it down using some sort of a sharp writing instrument. Okay, and that students could start with pencil first. Okay, after they started to get it in pencil, then they could start their optical illusion with one of our detail pens. We've got that small tip on the end right here, and then we've also got a thick tip on this end. So optical illusion is something we start the year, again, as a way to explore those elements of art, including line, which has a beginning and an end. But again, just bringing in some of those fun optical illusions, talking about the science of optical illusions and how they work. So thanks for joining me with Optical Illusions. See you soon. Take care.